Hello, good evening. Welcome back to the Celtic Way post-match reaction. Celtic 5, Slovan Bratislava 1. Ryan's headlined it. Rodgers rampant side send a five-star statement to Europe. There you go. Celtic win their opening Champions League game in the group stage slash league phase stage for the first time ever. Scoreline says it all, Ryan. What a performance. What a job. Demolition job. That's the way you treat the low seeds in the competition, and it probably could have and should have been more.
It could have been 8 or 9 tonight. I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed that it's only 5 goals, because 5 is a great result, especially in Europe. It's the heights that we've never really seen before, but you've got to beat what's in front of you.
Correct.
You look at the first half in particular, the chances that Celtic missed. I was ruining those chances at half time. I was like, Celtic need to take these chances while they come, because you never know. Bratislava could easily go up the park and score, and then all of a sudden it becomes a game. I think Kyogo was on Twitter at halftime and he heard people were moaning about him because it only took him a few minutes to score that goal, which was put on a plate from Baikun. 5 goals, 5 different goal scorers as well. There's goals all over the park at the moment in
Was
this team.
indeed.
Brendan Rodgers is getting a tune out of absolutely every single player at the moment. But these are special times we've got at the moment watching Celtic, and it's only going to
Loving
get
this,
better, I think.
loving this team, loving this manager. You have to say, and that
Yeah,
it's been a long time coming on this stage, Ryan. But I think we all woke up this morning. We all felt that it could be a special night. We did say it was shaping up to be a special night. We just didn't want to say too much, but we felt that. I don't think the result surprises you because in the kind of nature of the way Celtic played, they were outstanding. The manager said they were outstanding, and the manager also said the goals were sensational. I'll give him that. And yeah, uh, tremendous stuff. The chat's going over 100 people joining us already, so you can't beat that. And lots of praise coming in for Rio Hitati as well, and others. Engels as well being singled out.
I think he's a good place to start, to be honest.
Yes,
Um, I, I don't know about you, Tony. I was at the game and was watching him play. There was a moment in the second half where the crowd was getting more and more noisy, and Engels was actually telling the crowd to get louder and louder and louder and louder. He has, in 3 games, he has already made a solid first impression amongst the Celtic support. He is the definition, and you'll see that in the player ratings tomorrow morning when they come out. I'm going to leave them until tomorrow morning, but class on grass is used for Arne Engels. Everything that he does on the park is done with a slickness and a prestige and a technique that Celtic haven't really had before. He's really strolling it.
there's a flair and an elegance to him that makes you think that the 11 million that Celtic shelled out was one, a wise investment, but two, you're just thinking, wow, this boy can play. And as Brendan Rodgers pointed out, he's played a lot of games in the Bundesliga for a young professional, and he was loving life tonight. Like everybody was loving life tonight. I dusted down the old headline, Ryan, and put it out on Twitter. The definition of rip roaring, free scoring, never boring Glasgow Celtic. It's taken a while for it to happen at that level, but you have to say well done. That's the way you treat the bottom seeded team or lowest ranked team, isn't it? I think there was lots to enthuse about tonight. And granted, Slovan Bratislava weren't up to much, but we would have been worried if they hadn't got a result against them the way they played. But lots of things to get our teeth into in terms of the performance and the performers. But you just have to applaud the manager and the players for tonight. It was just a joy to watch, wasn't it?
They were a joy to watch, particularly in the second half. I thought that the football was even better in the second half. They were playing with a bit more purpose. I thought that Slovan Bratislava actually started the game quite well in the opening 10 minutes. They showed that they maybe had a tiny bit about them. You don't get through 4 qualifying rounds if you don't have something about you. But Celtic, once Celtic settled, you could see there was a real chasm between the two sides in terms of individual quality and collective quality. I didn't really know what Bratislava were trying to do. Were they trying to press Celtic? Were they trying to hit Celtic on the counter? It was a weird amalgamation of both, and it just didn't work out for Vladimir Weiss's side, both senior and junior, on the night whatsoever. I thought very early on that if Vladimir Weiss wasn't taken off, he would have been sent off because it looked as if he was completely rattled by the
Yeah,
Celtic Park crowd. And I think Alistair Johnson was playing on that with him as well.
yeah,
He was riling him up. I've got to say, I thought it was a real return to form for Alistair Johnson tonight as well. Might
yeah,
go under the radar with some other performances around the team. Cal McGregor, Liam Scales, Arne Engels, Rio Hatate, Daisen Maeda, etc. But Alistair Johnson, I thought, was immense, and nothing typified his performance more than how brave he was in getting in front of the man and taking the contact for the penalty. He won
mm,
that penalty by his endeavour to get in front of the man who was sleeping
yeah,
and didn't expect Alistair Johnson to come in. I just thought, especially on a booking as well, because he played the majority of that game with a booking. It was a controlled performance, and it's the sort of European performance we've been wanting from Alistair Johnson since he signed for Celtic. He shows that he can operate at this level, and yet looking forward to seeing more of him in the Champions League this season.
yeah. I mean, I think you mentioned Engels is a good place to start, and obviously some of his delivery into the box was wicked. There's no other word for it. It's wicked, and from 1 on 17 minutes, Liam Scales has bulleted a header. Clearly, what a set piece routine in training because he fired a lot of them into that front front post area, and Liam Scales has got his head on that and got Celtic off to a perfect start. So it was from that moment on, you always felt the result wasn't in any doubt, and how many would Celtic score because they were pretty rampant, as you said in the headline. And yeah, you can only beat what's in front of you, but how good do Celtic supporters feel about themselves and their team and their manager right now? And it is a start, and it's a platform upon which to build. And I think Callum McGregor said in the aftermatch that Celtic are going to give as good as they get against Borussia Dortmund and Atalanta. We shall see what happens in those games, but I like that chat. I like that talk because that's a
Yeah,
surge of confidence coursing right through the veins of those Celtic players tonight. And I was particularly delighted for Adam Ida as well, coming on
oh,
and scoring, and took that goal
absolutely
superbly well. Great pass for James Forrest, but he takes it
tremendous.
in stride, Adam Ida, that goal. Just, this is Adam Ida, who some people said wouldn't be able to score you goals at the Champions League level. First outing in the Champions League, a goal. Excellent. Take that. Keep them coming, as they say. But yeah, lots to
Absolutely.
Ryan and lots to purr over, basically.
Yeah, there are so many places that you can go and talk. I think you can look at every sort of position of the park and talk about a standout performance. Defence, I think there's only one standout there, to be honest. I mean, apart from Alistair Johnson, Liam Scales, tremendous performance. Did he lose a tackle tonight? Did he? It was just imperious at the back. He was a leader. I thought he was the better out the two centre halves again, not for the first time this season. I thought Carter Vickers was decent apart from a couple of wee slack moments. He picked up a silly booking that I didn't even think he needed to bring the guy back. Just allow him to go forward. These are bookings that might cost you later on in the competition with suspensions. I would have personally just allowed the Bratislava player to go forward and allow somebody else to come in and make the defensive tackle. But yeah, Liam Scales, he's playing out his skin at the moment, Tony, isn't he? He's really, really playing at a different level. Great to see Austin Trusty. Good to see that he exists and he can come onto the pitch. But the reason why he's not getting game time is because Liam Scales has been that good in,
Yeah,
in the centre of defence. Cal McGregor in the midfield, running out of superlatives to talk about this player. My goodness, that retirement decision is the best possible decision for Celtic and one of the worst possible decisions for Scotland and Steve Clarke. My goodness, he is playing out of his skin at the moment. Daisen Maeda, he sets the tempo. He is the tempo in this team. He does things that are mad, that are wild, that you're pulling your hair out watching him.
what,
You're saying, why is he doing that? But
what
the
like the,
pros outweigh the cons.
like the first chance that he got and he skied over the bar when all I had to do was look up and play it into Kyogo for a tap in, stuff like that, you
Yeah.
mean? And
Yes,
then
absolutely.
and then buries a lovely goal to make it 4-1. Like
That's my either.
a seasonal striker. I've told you before, he's the Forrest Gump of the team. You just don't know what you're going to get, but we love him to bits for it. And then he's liking scoring goals now because he's celebrating them a lot more. Maybe it was the prestige of the competition in the tournament, but he used
his
to take
record's a lot better now. He's now
yeah.
scoring a lot more goals in this team. Usually it was just his pressing and his tempo that were the reason why he's in the team. He's now in the team because he's scoring goals and really contributing to the overall effort of the team in an attacking sense. His defensive play was a prerequisite. That's always going to come. But now the attacking numbers are getting there. Rodgers is improving him as a player. He's a better player under Rodgers than he was with Postecoglou in my eyes.
I thought the front three were really good. But we can't ignore the fact that, I know Kyogo got the second killer goal and that was it. That was the one that kind of won the game. But, the 2 chances in the first half, and he's making a habit of missing sitters in every game, Ryan. I just don't want it to become a habit. You can't ignore what your eyes are seeing. And I know his movement's great and all that, but, you have to put these chances away at this level because there will be games where that'll be your only chance you get. And if it's gilt edge and it's glaring like that, then, and it's not for the first time at this level with Kyogo. I still love him to bits. Glad he scored the goal, brilliantly made by Kuhn. But, you just have to say to yourself, Kyogo's sharpness in front of goal has been lacking. He's a bit profligate in front of goal at this minute. And at this level, you can't afford that. But I'm hoping that he plays himself through it and the chances come when he starts burying them with increased regularity again. On the plus side, that's his 75th goal for Celtic, his 3rd goal at Champions League level. So, there you go. And then somebody's saying Kyogo is 1 goal away from equaling Henrik's Champions League tally for Celtic. But Henrik only scored 4 goals for Celtic in the Champions League.
Maybe because more of his goals came in the UEFA Cup than the Champions League.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll bow to your superior knowledge, P. McLaughlin, on that. But yeah, I'm not having a dig at Kyogo. It's what you're seeing, and I think the Celtic fans would have been able to relax a lot more easily, right? Had he taken his first half chances, you would have gone in at the break, 3 up, instead of having to wait to the 47th minute for the second killer goal to go in and think and breathe. Because at 1-0, you're still, it's precarious.
Yeah, he probably should have had a hat-trick on the night, to be honest with you. When you look at the 2 chances he had, plus essentially a tap-in for Kuhn, it's good. Kyogo's in the right place at the right time. That's what you want from your striker. All of that goal is from Nicholas Kuhn. That's him at his best when he's direct, when he knows what he's doing, he gets to the byline and then cuts it back ever so slightly. With a bit of venom on it too. I like to see that from him. I thought he was quite quiet tonight, Nicholas Kuhn, apart from a couple of good chances in the second half. But you knew whenever he got the ball that something looked like it was going to happen. He's a guy that's very much feeling himself at the moment in terms of his form. He's clearly happy. He's one of the first picks in the team, definitely on that right wing, although James Forrest did really, really well off the bench. I just think, to a man, the vast majority of players really had like 7s and 8s out of 10s tonight. Can't really think of a player that struggled tonight. I thought even Greg Taylor was good. He was quiet, but he was, effective. Maybe could have done a bit better for Kevin Wimmer's goal, which is an absolute screamer, by the way, from a centre half. I don't know how Schmeichel only concedes screamers. I think that's just part of his contract. He's only going to concede these screamers from long range, whether it's a great header or it was a weird sort of volley. Was it a volley from Kevin Wimmer?
No, outside the foot.
Outside the foot. That's a centre back. He played for Tottenham.
He took a nick off Cameron Carter-Vickers' head, I'm sure, just a slight nick, which takes it away from Kasper Schmeichel, because Schmeichel was absolutely raging.
He's telling them all to keep focused as well.
Yeah, he was. I think he was really annoyed because of kind of the way it came about. Because of Greg Taylor's sliced kind of clearance, it kind of caused the kind of consternation, and then Now, a couple of comments coming in about Kyogo. I've already said he scored the killer second and his movement was great. I'm talking about what you're seeing in front of your very eyes, the missing of gilt-edged chances. That's what I'm
No,
talking about.
I completely agree
Not
with
for
you,
the
Tony.
first time.
Completely agree
Yeah.
with you.
Can't
At half
afford to
time,
keep doing that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was people saying he should be replaced at half time with Adam
yeah.
Ida. So, but yeah, I still love Kyogo. Still, he was in the right place at the right time. That's down to his movement, but it was also down to Kuhn's trickery on the wing. And I thought the front three were very, very good. Maida being the pick of the bunch for me.
I would agree. Yeah, me too. And it was a great finish. I think arguably I think that was the best goal of the game. I know Ida's goal was just well worked, but so is Maeda's goal. And he's just he gets a bit of retribution because he's not offside, and he was offside against Lazio with that slight touch that,
Yeah,
or it was the touch that was then on to Luis Palma. So he did get his redemption. It's a really great finish. It's quick as well. He hits it really early and doesn't allow the goalkeeper to set himself at all. Just a great finish. A guy that's very much deserving his flowers at the moment, Maeda. You know what he's going to bring you. He's going to bring you some good, he's going to bring you some bad, and he's going to bring you some ugly as well. But the pros outweigh the cons with this man. He gives everything for Celtic. I think he lives and breathes football. This is just what he does. This is his game. And then when he goes home, he probably doesn't even think about it. And then he just goes to the next game. He puts his all into it. I've affectionately named him Duracell Dyson. He has a battery in that team. He's just supercharged. He goes about and does his business. And yeah, I think everybody loves Dyson Maeda now, don't they?
oh,
They just
he's
love what he brings to the team. And he's
popular.
effective as well. If he had that high end ability, he wouldn't be at
Yeah.
Celtic. So you've just
And
got to enjoy what he does bring to the team.
he's probably the most popular scorer of the evening because the fans love him. And but great reception for Adam Ida when he scored as well. Really delighted for him. Took it like a seasoned pro in terms of striking. But
That
as I say, it was
there's a bit of
one.
a point for you, Tony. Sorry.
One.
Do you think that? And I was saying this as I was walking back to the car after the game. He took that goal as if he believed that he scored on Saturday against Hearts. He counted it as one of his goals mentally.
I
Just
made,
seeing that ball hit the back of the net and celebrating.
I made the
It
point.
spells that the shackles are off.
Yeah, I made the point that was the best thing that could have happened to Adam Ida because he did ghost into the position and he did put it in the net. He did what all strikers should do.
Mhm.
Got himself into position and scored like Kyogo did for the killer second goal. So strikers pride themselves on that, quickness of thought, quickness of movement, and so I don't think he let it dwell on the fact that it was ruled out for a VAR offside. I think he just thought, right, I'm back in, I'm back in the ball game, and if I get minutes, I'm going to make an impact, and he did because he's run. The pass for James Forrest was brilliant, but Ida makes it because when James Forrest picks it up, he's more or less standing within about 5 yards of him. And then he says to Forrest, go that way. And then he runs the other way. And then Forrest slips him in. So he knew exactly what he was doing. So, yeah, I was delighted with that goal. Delighted with Ida. And, and as I say, no mean feat for Kyogo either. 75 goals, Ryan, for Celtic. That's incredible stuff. So as I say,
Personally,
I'm not having a go at Kyogo.
nobody is.
I'm just observing. You know what I mean? What I'm seeing, and if he scores against Hearts on Saturday, it's a different game, isn't it? And he put it
Yep.
well wide. There's been moments in most games where he's missed chances, and I just think it's very uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, I would half agree with that because I do think that as a striker he does miss a lot of chances, but I think that's actually because his movement's so good that he gets into so many areas at different parts. I think he actually surprises himself with how good that his movement is, that he gets so far in front of the defence, then he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and then for whatever reason he gets in his own head and allows himself to miss these gilt-edged chances. But the good thing about Kyogo is that he keeps on endeavouring to move forward and keep on going. The head never goes down with Kyogo. He will always move for the next chance. He was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the right place at the right time in the second half. So thankfully, all of those chances in the first half, we'll still talk about them, and I still think it's important to talk about them. But at the same time,
that's why I put them up.
Yeah, without a doubt. But he's not the only one that missed chances. Daisy Maeda missed 2 gilt-edged chances before scoring.
I remember taking stick for saying he should have had 6 the time he played Dundee and he got a hat-trick.
Yes.
He should have had 6. And people were saying, oh, come on. And I'm just like, well, I know, you got to strive for perfection at all times.
Without a doubt.
So it's how you get better. So, but I was making the point that he was going to be that striker who misses a lot of chances. And will score his fair share as well. So that's what I was talking about. But and again, it was one of those nights for him tonight. Movement was great. Dragged defenders all over the place. But he still missed a couple of sitters at critical times. That's my point about that, about Kyogo. But in the right place at the right time for the second goal.
It's great that the 2 strikers scored tonight, because it leaves food for thought for the weekend. In my opinion, I think Adam Ida's got to start at the weekend versus Falkirk. I don't think it'll be the only change. I think there'll be 5 or 6 changes into the team. I think you'll see Trusty. I think you'll see Baye. I think you'll see Paulo Bernardo. Luis Palma potentially as well. You're going to get changes in the team, but it's not exactly going to weaken the team for the weekend. It's just going to be healthy competition for spots. All of a sudden, that game is so important for the players that are on the bench that aren't making the starting lineup at the moment. There is pressure on them to deliver.
Yeah, rotation, Ryan. That's what the manager wants. He wants the strength and depth that she's got. So Sunday offers you a chance to rotate a few players and give you a look at the likes of Trusty, Vai, and also maybe bringing in Ida and giving him a run out from the start. So I fully expect those guys to play on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I think these changes will be quite beneficial as well, although I would like to see quite a bit more of Arne Engels. I'm hungry to see more of him as a player. I think we're only beginning. I think we can only see the tip of the iceberg with Engels at this moment in time. He's still finding his way. Hatate and Engels are still trying to figure out how to play with each other, and McGregor too. But once that connection is made, you'll know about it. You will see it once it's fully flying, because there will be a moment that you see the 3 of them just click into gear. I still think that's only about 30-40% of what we can expect of him. I think once he's fully integrated into the side, once he knows exactly what his teammates do, as he said after the match, he's improving game on game. The team is improving game on game. What is this going to be like in November, December, when we're into the nitty-gritty of the Champions League, as well as the league season and the League Cup? Hopefully get to the final and win that, as well as talking about the league and the Champions League, to be fighting on 3 fronts and then having the Scottish Cup in January. What is he going to be like in a couple of months? Because this is a guy, this was only his 3rd game, and you could make the argument that he could have 2 Man of the Match awards in 2 starts. What a beginning to life at Celtic. 2 tremendous penalties, both in the same place. He said he made the goalkeeper second guess by thinking he was going to go the opposite way, and then just slotted it the same way he did against Hearts. He just looks like a very, very classy customer, and I can't wait to see more of him as the days, weeks, months go on.
He's a quality addition, let's be honest. Absolute quality addition. So I have no qualms about him. From the moment he came on against Rangers, he looked the part. We just thought, okay, we need to see more of this guy. Excellent against Hearts, and he was brilliant tonight. So, and took it all in his stride. Wasn't he phased at all? You know what I mean? I think at one point Neil Lennon and co-commentary called him a cool customer. I echo that sentiment. I just think he looks to be the kind of unflappable type. I'm sure he'll flap at some point. They all do, but he looks very unflappable, doesn't he? You know what I mean? He looks very assured, very composed.
I think he's enjoying it. I think he's enjoying the spotlight that he's got at the moment. He didn't have that spotlight at Augsburg. It's a completely different.
When it cut across the lineup for when the Champions League music was playing, and it was going down the line. You saw him. He was like, give us a bit of this. He was just nodding his head. He was smiling, and he was like, kind of, right, I'm up for this. So I, from the get-go, I knew his attitude was spot on, because he was just admiring the support and the noise they were making, and he was thinking, this is my stage. I'm going to show you. This is my platform. And he went out and did it. And two cool penalties, Ryan. And two penalties went the exact same way, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. But, nerves of steel. It's easy. Just like, yep, I'll spot the ball, no problem. I can do this. Take that. And so, loving what I'm seeing from Engels, absolutely loving it. And I'm going to mention, in our predicted 11, we were rotating Hatate, but he was very good tonight, wasn't he? You know what I mean? To be fair.
Yeah, he's one of these players that I think when you watch him again, you'll realise just how good he was tonight. There was a moment in the first half, especially, when the crowd were shouting and screaming for Hatate to move the ball quicker, and he tells his teammates to calm down. He's on the ball, and just you need to retain possession when you're in Europe. You need somebody that's able to do that and take a breather, because European football is so high octane, and he understood that yes, there was maybe a chance, but it's much better to retain the ball in Europe than give it away, taking risks. That's a player that's learning. He's not taking that risk at that point in time. He's allowing his teammates to get a breather. And yeah, I thought he was brilliant tonight, to be honest.
He showed that he'd learnt, Ryan, with things like that, moments like that. He's shown he's using that knowledge to great effect and helping his team. So I was very impressed with that as well, to be honest. And to be fair, we also said that if if Hatate did start, then we had no problem with that. And as long as it was the Hatate that played like the way he did tonight, that's what we wanted. So yeah. I'm all for that, and I don't think he gave the ball away tonight at all. I can't remember him giving it away cheaply as he has done in the past.
So it's his movement as well, though, Tony. I don't think Bratislava knew what they were dealing with at all.
We know that. We all know he's got that movement and he's got that eye for a pass, and it was his kind of. He was falling, but he still managed to shunt it to Maida for the goal.
I love that. Yeah, I really like that goal.
The actor falling and just manages to put it through to his compatriot who buries it. So I like that goal as well. I like all the goals, to be fair, but it's been a while since you've felt like this and been as excited as this about what's to come. Because this team are going to improve, aren't they? They're going to improve beyond belief.
I've said that they're going to absolutely hammer a team this season, one way or another. I didn't expect one of the hammerings to be in Europe in the Champions League. I'm talking about a real. If you look at the league, maybe not at the weekend, because I think there'll be quite a bit of changes. I still think Celtic will be comprehensive winners at the weekend, but there will be changes to that side. I just think when Celtic are fully flowing, which may come in a few months, once everybody's fully settled and integrated into the team, I think Celtic are going to really hit a team for 7, 8, 9. They just look dangerous. They've got goals all over.
7, 8, or 9. Make up your mind. So, 7, 8, or 9.
Just in the upper echelons of goal scoring. So I did predict that Celtic were going to score 10 goals in this week. They've got 7 at the moment. They've done a wee bit of heavy lifting after only scoring 2 against Hearts on Saturday. So that's 2 plus 5, so 7. All they need is 3 more, and they'll go with my prediction of 10 goals in the space of 8 days. I think they can do that against Falkirk. They're coming up against an informed team in Falkirk that have won every single game that they've played in the league this season. So yeah, but the gauntlet is down. Let's see Celtic score some more goals. Let's see Adamida get on the score sheet. Let's get some of the debutants on the score sheet as well, through corners and free kicks and set pieces, etc. Let's see the goals from all over the pitch. 5 goals from 5 different goal scorers tonight. There is goals all over this team. I want to see more players get on the score sheet. I'm
Yeah,
selfish. I'm greedy, but I
that was
just want to see more from this team.
score tonight, Ryan. Uh, so there you go. That's goals were shared around 5 different players, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not relying on one player in particular. But Rodgers makes a point of mentioning that. He has mentioned that in the past. He mentioned it again tonight because he was asked about the fact that it was 5 different scorers. And he says that everybody understands their role, even the ones who are, if they're an attacking midfielder playing in the 8, playing in the 10, or wingers, they have to contribute. So that pleased me greatly as well. The fact that it was 5 different scorers. Now we know sterner tests await. The next two in particular, Dortmund away, Atalanta away. But you're travelling there with a bit of confidence, Ryan, that you can give them problems. Yeah.
They've got me
Or
believing. I think they've got us both believing that something could happen. Stranger things have happened. I've seen Rangers win at the Westfalen Stadium. You never know. These Atalanta, you never know. You've got to be in it to win it. They've got the first 3 points on the board. If they could get a couple of good results against Atalanta and Dortmund respectively, then they put themselves in a really, really good place. But I think they're in a good place already. They've won their first home game. The home games have got to be like a fortress, and they've got to use these home games as a chance to get 3 points. I think they can get maximum points from their 4 games at home if they play to the level that we know that they can. Leipzig is a big test. They've got some really good players, good emerging players. But who's to say Celtic can't beat Leipzig and Young Boys and Club Brugge at home? I think they can, and they can be a problem to teams away from home. I just think this team is really on the verge of something special. It's only the first game, but what a first game, and what an introduction to the new league format for Celtic.
I'm also glad that they've got Dortmund so early, because I looked at Real Madrid last night and Stuttgart could have taken something from them. The earlier you get the bigger teams, the better, I believe. Because you can possibly catch them cold. Not saying Celtic are going to go to Dortmund and Signal Iduna Park and win, but I think they're capable of going there and causing problems and scoring and making life difficult for the Germans. And that's why I'm happy that those 2 matches back to back, the away matches, are early enough in the tournament, and some teams maybe not hit their stride as of yet, So you can't predict how many points you're going to get on the road. That's always been Celtic's Achilles heel, isn't it? In terms of Champions League and playing at this level, their away form's been absolutely brutal. But they've certainly set you up. As you say, you used the word, got them believing. So we shall see what happens, Ryan, in a couple
Yep,
of weeks. And
and we've
hopefully
touched
your old Dal will be there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good to sample that atmosphere. That's for sure. I think we've actually covered everything, haven't we, Tony? We've covered all the goals scored, good performances. Just a good night for Celtic.
What are we? 5 minutes short of midnight, Ryan. There you go. All in a day's work. Days are getting longer though, aren't they, Ryan? So the workload's stretching out. But you can't,
There are breeze on nights like these when
yeah,
Celtic play like that.
you can't not enjoy nights like tonight. Well, that's nearly 35 minutes. I think you need to get home, Ryan, because you're somewhere near Celtic Park at the minute, you know.
Yeah, just outside, just about 10 minutes away from Celtic Park. Got in plenty of time, but yeah, it's been a great night. It's been a
You
great night
know,
sampling the atmosphere. It's just been a very, very successful start to the season for Celtic, and long may that continue. I feel like everybody's together, from those covering the club to the players to the manager to the supporters. Everybody is everybody's in a pretty good place at the moment, and long may that continue. I think that's a lot of that is down to Brendan Rodgers and his management. He is operating at a truly elite level at this moment in time.
I've always said it, Ryan. He's an elite level manager. You know that. I said that from day one since he came back, kind of shown it now, but the team's shown it as well. I think the one thing, the biggest takeaway from tonight is, I think every Celtic supporter is proud of their manager and proud of their team. We always felt that Celtic had that performance in them, and you didn't want to say too much this morning, but you woke up this morning feeling good about today, and you just felt if Celtic performing, they could get a result like that. As I said before, it's been a long time coming at this level for Celtic. They now need to use that as a platform to build upon that first result and taking it from there. And you just want to see them have a right crack at this 8-game league phase, Ryan.
1 out of 8 completed and 3 points on the board. Celtic are second in the table.
A magnificent 70 go.
Yeah, that's it, absolutely. But start as you mean to go on. It's just been a very good day.
Indeed, correct. Let's hope it continues, as one of the commenters just said. Right, Ryan, I'm going to let you drive home. I don't imagine neither of us will sleep because we'll probably watch the highlights into the wee small hours, but hey, there you go. So, as you say, nights like tonight are to be savoured and cherished, and it'll be one of them. I was there when Celtic won 5-1, made history by winning their first ever opening group night or group game, league phase, whatever you want to call it, against Slovan Bratislava. Glad you enjoyed it. To Celtic supporters who were there, I hope you all enjoyed it as well. But yeah, I think the overwhelming feeling is we're proud of the players and proud of the manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
Proud of the supporters as well, because everybody did their job, didn't they?
Yep, everybody's singing from the same sheet for sure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it all over again at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, you're all Daz and day off, so you'll not see me tomorrow, but I'll be back on Friday. But you enjoy that. Right, young man, get yourself home. Take care and thank you.
Cheers, guys. Have a good rest of your night.